listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dad's After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dad's After Show.
Throw your hands in the air
if you's a true player.
Hey everybody, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's After Show for Dads on Fox. This is Season 1, Episode 9, Comic Book Issue. There were some issues on this show, as every episode normally entails. The dads get into some trouble, the dads make some stuff happen, and everybody needs to fix it. At the end, it's always fixed, but it's funny in true dad's form. The end of this episode, they had a tender moment that then was debunked by their funny humor. As usual, I am your host, Lauren Leonelli. Hello, everybody, and here with me is...
Jenifer Golden.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Jenifer Golden.
Hi, Lauren Leonelli.
Jen the Joe.
LL.
Holla, holla. So, we are going to talk about this episode. Basically, I don't know, do you feel like there was a B storyline this episode? Kind of feel like it was, sometimes they do that. I feel like this time it was really just...
I would say the B storyline is David and Eli's relationship.
Yeah.
Because of the reason why comic books became so important to him as
Yes.
a child. Also, the common references to the fact that David forgets Eli's name
yeah,
and calls him Chief, son, Buddy. And he's like, what?
Yeah, I loved that.
He's like, oh,
Buddy and
blanked
Chief.
on your name.
Blanked on your name. So we start off. And by the way, Edna was super funny this episode.
She's funny every episode.
You know what? She is funny every episode.
She's my favorite. I'm gonna just put that out there.
You know what? I love her. You know what? It was funny about this episode is there was a lot of like non-dialogue communication with Camilla and with Edna. Like they had a lot of not talking but facial expressions. I think Vanessa Lachey is very good at facial expressions. Her face is very expressive, so it was perfect for her. And then Edna in that one scene, Tony DeCastro's character, where she was just like staring at David, and there was a lot of that, and it said a lot. And they kind of played with that. Was it last episode where they did the drum circle? Mm-hmm. I think these actors are all really funny and really expressive, and that totally works for them. And it's funny.
It's really funny. I love that David was like, I can't get anything done with you yelling at me, but she wasn't speaking at all.
He's like, fine, we'll go there and steal them back. That was really cute, actually.
It was.
So we start off with, okay, I have a question about this. Did anybody not get this? Eli's asking for if Edna found any receipts. Because, I know what the B storyline was. See, we prepare before this. I'm thinking as we go. The B storyline was the taxes. And that Veronica was trying to do all the tax write-off stuff in the office. Do you not think that was the B storyline? You're looking at me like I'm wrong.
No, I don't.
It carried throughout the episode. It opened with it, and then twice Veronica brought it up, and they were running the tax stuff. No, you're not. Don't be. Be with me. Same page.
Oh,
Jen.
I'm sorry. Is my face expressing what I'm thinking?
Yeah, she's being very expressive. And what
can't.
she's saying with her eyes, if you're just listening, is that I have no idea what you're talking about, and you're wrong. All in one sentence, all in one look.
Wow, I'm really talented.
You are very talented. No,
and that is exactly what I was thinking.
Maybe it wasn't a B storyline.
More like a C or a D.
You were going to say a G. You were going to jump to G. I heard G.
I think I blanked on my letters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get it? That was a callback.
No, it wasn't. You were really blanking.
Right.
Anyway, so the episode opened up with Eli asking Edna for receipts, and she was like, she didn't understand. Okay.
Oh my God. First of all, when she was saying, she's like, what's a receipt? And he was like, what you get when you make a purchase. And she's still confused because like she obviously doesn't make purchases. But then when
but that's why
when he's like to do my taxes, and she's like, Because she's an illegal and she doesn't file taxes.
Right. That's what I thought, and that's what I wanted to double check, but I wasn't sure, and I sort of thought maybe I missed that joke.
No, but they hit those jokes hard every time. They make fun of her.
They 100% make fun of her for being an illegal citizen.
And her accent and so many things. And when she presented Eli with the little Mexican toy.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's Xbox in Mexico.
Yeah, and he was like pushing it side to side.
Oh, it was weird.
It was funny. So we see David come out of the bathroom. He's got the comic book in his hand, and Eli flips out. And I think it's really funny to see also, which we got to see a lot in this episode, was Eli and Warner really letting their like inner nerd Dungeons and Dragons like come out, which is so funny. And I love that Veronica is like, what is happening?
She was like, this is heaven for a bully.
I mean, yeah.
There was some funny line in reference to it was a bully's dream place. Mm-hmm. But it's true.
I love watching them. They're totally believable, like comic book
I'll tell
nerds.
you.
Well, Seth Green is really a comic book nerd. I mean, he
really
says
is.
that he
is.
is.
I don't know that Giovanni is. But wait, okay, B storyline. Maybe C.
Oh, great.
I'm going to say it's B. C is the relationship between David and
But that's
Eli.
every episode, Jen.
They had some more moments this time around. But B is Warner being the size of a woman.
No, that is so. If that is a B storyline, then the taxes is a B storyline.
They brought up the fact that he was small and wearing women's clothes every scene.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
Only
they did.
Twice.
Like, I wrote down.
Okay.
Okay, so Crawford saw him bending over and was like, he was like, Camilla, introduce me to your friend.
That was funny.
And then she was wearing his pants another time. And then.
No, that was the only time. And then in the office, he walked out, and Veronica said, I have those pants.
Right. And when he walked in and Camilla was there, he was like posing, and she's like, those are my pants. And he's like, no, they're not. They're mine. And she's like, check the inside of the pants.
That was the same scene as the bending over with Crawford.
Whatever, but it was 3 times.
It was twice. And you are wrong about it being a B storyline.
I think it's really important.
It is really. It was really funny.
And
it can be a B storyline as long as the taxes can be a B storyline. Can it be like B, A, B, B, B? Is that confusing?
Be adjacent.
I mean, she's really going to just try and run the show.
X.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. There was a couple little mini storylines happening with the major A storyline, which is the comic books, okay?
That's a fair compromise.
Fair compromise. So as we just spoke about, this is when we see, back to David and Eli. He's really upset. We get to see what a nerd he is about these comic books and how much they mean to him. We don't know why at first. We just know we think it's because he's a nerd or whatever.
He's really upset that David's using his comic books as bathroom reading.
Yeah, because it's like not.
No, they go in plastic.
Yeah, they're
protectors for a reason.
And I think that like people that collect comic books of that caliber probably don't even read them. They like keep them just in their little sleeves and their safety protectors and their little condoms.
Exactly.
And their comic book condoms. Well, because you can't let anything get on them.
Or out of them.
Whatever, they stay in those things and they are airtight, sealed. Ba-bam. So Warner and Eli then talk about this at the office because Eli has decided, I have to put these things in storage. Like, they cannot be around. He takes everything. He doesn't listen to me. And so then we see that Warner has a little bit of a comic book obsession as well.
Yes, and he said that he no longer has his 352.
No, it was 3,000. Wasn't it 3,000 or something? Oh no, maybe I made that up. 3.
I made it up.
3,000 sounds like a lot. That doesn't sound right. It probably was 300. No, I swear he said 3,000 plus.
Are we going to fight about this one too?
Yeah, we're not fighting.
This is our fight.
We're having discussions about it, which I'm sure you are all having at home as well. Maybe people at home are having these same discussions. Like, they don't remember it was 300 or 3,000. But if you want to call in and let us know if we are right or wrong, or what you remember, or what you think about these conversations, please do. The phone number in here, Marissa, is 424-256-1635. 1633. You think after a year and almost 2 years here, I might memorize that phone number. I'm working on it. I know the 424-256-1729. That's because it plays in my ear every time we listen to the introduction. I have a very audio memory thing. Like if you teach me calculus in like a song, I'd probably be like the next Albert Einstein. It's true.
Oh, I like that.
Just saying. Ooh. Anyway, so if you want to call in that number, or if you're online checking us out on iTunes, rate and comment and tell a friend, and keep the conversation going. Answer questions that we're talking about here. We might forget something or point something out that is incorrect.
Like maybe the amount of comic books
that Warner said that you had, which I say is 3,000 and she says 300. So everybody tell me I'm right. And also, when you're telling me I'm right, you can give us 5 stars. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. So anyway, so this is also then...
Wait, but the reason why that Warner no longer has the comic books is because Crawford traded them for blankets with Indians way back when he was on many drugs.
He didn't sell them. He swapped them, and he was on a lot of drugs.
For blankets that may or may not have had disease on them.
Yeah. Which is standard. That's normal.
Totally normal.
So, and it's just like Warner just kind of like... I like that Warner sort of tolerates it. They both don't like having their dads around, or it causes them stress or inconvenience, but Warner deals with it so much differently. He just kind of like internalizes it, whereas Eli gets petulant. He's like, no, Dad! And and it's funny to see them react that way. So now we're back at their house, and we see Warner and Camilla, and this is when Warner's wearing her pants. Which I just
read my notes, and I'm like giggling again.
It's really funny. It was really funny, and I loved how Camilla was like, "Hun, those are my pants." Like, it's so funny that she wears the pants in their relationship. It was like a nice little metaphor, and he was in them, and they fit him, and they're like his size, and it was a funny little metaphor.
I like that they make fun of their size.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel badly talking about it, but the fact that they're actually also making fun of it makes me happy, because now we can say, Giovanni's tiny.
He is tiny, and so is Seth Green, and they make fun of that. They make fun of his red hair. They make fun of the physicality of the actors, which is clearly not something that they wrote and then gave to them. Like, they're on the spot. These writers are, and in our interview with Vanessa, she even pointed that out. They're changing things day by day, week by week, and they're making this up on the fly, or they're writing.
I wonder if they're watching our show and then they're like, oh, well, we'll make them laugh, so let's write this joke.
I hope so.
I think it's true.
We liked Rollerby, John Viner. We liked Rollerby.
And Shao.
So then we're back at the office because we see that Crawford brings back a bunch of comics. He buys the new ones on Craigslist.
Some man named Craig has a list.
And he makes a gay Robin joke, which everyone always does, that he's sucking all the fun out of it.
He makes, I would say, the best jokes, because they're so, like,
I love
under the radar.
Yeah. I love his jokes. When David makes a joke, it's very blunt.
And mean.
And, like, really harsh.
Yeah.
And Crawford, there's something so endearing about him that, like, when he makes a joke, he's sort of just like, oh my gosh, he really doesn't have any idea that the neighbor's black and that's okay, and he needs to get off the phone with the cops now.
Right.
Like, that is funny to me.
Or that Camilla is not the housekeeper just because she's Hispanic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's hysterical. I love the way his jokes land.
Yeah.
So now we're back at the office, and we see that this is, they're talking about the comic books again, Warner and Eli, and Eli is he going to check on his comic book? Oh, why is he going to storage? I forget why he was going to storage, but he ends up deciding to go to storage.
Oh, because Warner and Eli talk about, that Warners are so great, and they get into a conversation about whose are better.
That's right. They get into
they say, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Oh, right. Okay, so he's like, I'm going to go get them.
Yeah, and Veronica says this must be what it's like in the old gay West.
Yeah, that's what she said. Sorry, you guys, I'm looking up something right now, which is why I'm on my phone. I'm not tweeting or retweeting. I'm not sending a tweet. So, and then, of course, we always get the Veronica funny Asian family joke where she's like, storage units make me feel weird because I used to live in one. And then they're really loud. Eli's really loud when he discovers that his storage unit of comic books is gone. And he he
wakes up the neighbors.
Wakes up the Asian neighbors who are living in the storage unit next door. And then enter Ernie Hudson.
Hysterical.
The guy from Ghostbusters.
Don't know how he kept it together.
I mean, I've got a little inside knowledge about what happened, which I'll get into during news and gossip. But he comes out and I think that was probably my favorite scene, where he just kept throwing those jabs at Eli, being like, yeah, well, if Batman might come save us, he might save the day. Just like going and you mentioned this too. You feel like the actors always they ask questions or call things out. He kept going, I think you're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
He was like, no. And then he just kept going.
Yeah.
It was really funny how
I don't know how they hold it together.
And he was like, so somebody stole your cartoons? And he was like, they're comic. Like, he kept saying everything was, like, he kept using the wrong terminology, because somebody who's very into comic books and sci-fi and things like that, they're like, the terminology is specific, and these certain words are used to describe characters or whatever, and they're very serious about it.
Yeah.
And this security guard was not, or cop officer was not taking it very seriously at all.
No, he said he was going to signal the bat signal.
He was going to signal the bat, yeah. And I loved that. So, of course, Eli, in his petulant manner, comes and blames his dad.
I love that word.
Petulant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I have a vast vocabulary sometimes. I'll just keep using that word over and over again, by the way. So Eli, and he was petulant, came in and was blaming his dad. This is your fault. I wouldn't have had to put them in storage if it weren't for you, and now they're gone. And this is when, is this when he talks about what they really meant to him? I think this is the scene where he's like, he says, that was my one good memory and you took it away from me. And then he made that Elizabeth Smart joke. David was like, well, why didn't you ask Elizabeth Smart about her childhood? Like, put it in perspective. Parents always do that. They're like, well, your life's not so bad. Every time I used to tell my mom I was so starving when I was younger, Mom, I'm starving. She'd be like, you are not starving. Those poor kids in Ethiopia are starving. Because that was back in the days when they would show you the commercials of the kids in Ethiopia. It was like the Heal the World was like the popular thing, and everyone was trying to, raise money and awareness for that.
I eat everything on my plate because someone somewhere is hungry.
Hey.
So if I have all this food, I have to eat it.
That's what I'll keep telling myself when I clean my plate at every meal.
I store for winter just in case.
Oh my God.
You never know.
Hey, hibernation. It's a real thing.
It is.
We see how upset Eli is. He's taking it day by day. Back at the office when they're asking him how he's doing, he's taking it day by day. That was really funny.
It was really funny.
And they start to question how this all went down. They confirm that, Crawford did in fact get them on Craigslist with these Adidas shoes.
I wrote that down too. That was really funny.
And they make that Jenna Lacey reference that there was, Warner's like, you know what, if you think these comic books might belong to you, I feel bad keeping them. I'm going to give them to you. And he's like, but wait a second. This is like the Jenna Lacey thing. When I said I didn't like, you said you didn't like her, and then I could ask her out, and then I did, and you got mad at me.
I like that they brought back the past.
Yeah.
So we get a little history about the two of them.
We see how long they've been friends, and
25 years or some ridiculously long time.
I feel like that's
true.
Like it's real, like it's genuine, like.
Well, in real life, they've known each other since they did that Fruit Loops
commercial is so funny. They fight over the boxes. This is the second time we see Warner in the girls' pants, and
the two of them struggling
with the boxes
and turning. I think their faces actually turned red. I love the physical comedy.
There was a lot of physical comedy in this episode. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Eli and his dad, they talk, and I think this is when after we discover that Eli was very upset, and the superheroes, we start to see the severity of his sadness. These superheroes taught him lessons that his dad wasn't there to teach him, and I think that's when David starts to feel bad, but you never really see it. And that's when Edna was staring at him like, you got to go fix this. You got to go fix this. So they decided to go break in.
Because Warner ended up keeping the comics after the whole conversation about Jenna Lacey and everything.
Yeah, he ended up keeping them because they didn't want to, get back into that problem again. They didn't want to relive that issue. So David decides he's going to go with Edna. They try and break in. She's like, it's okay, I have the password. She takes out wire clippers. They sneak in. David's looking for these comics, and Edna starts cleaning.
She can't help it.
She's like, I can't help it. It's force of habit. They discover that they get what they think is all of the comics except for one. And Warner, that scene was really funny too, was sleeping with it, and Edna lifted him up and sang to him. And then did you feel like it was like a sexual attraction thing or like a mother-son thing?
Like a motherly thing.
I did too.
However, I could have done without the singing because that's not realistic. Just a kiss on the forehead was really cute.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, at that point, come on, he would have woken up with just people in the room. I mean.
Right.
So, but yeah, I get what you mean, and I was taking it a little far. They sneak downstairs, of course. They drop a box. Camilla, the man of the house, is going to get up and make sure everything's okay.
Of course.
And this is where we have a little issue with Camilla. She, in her own masculine way, decides nobody's around. I have a little bit of a gas issue, and I'm just going to let it go. And she did. And, of course, David and Edna were still in there to hear it.
Oh, my God. I felt so uncomfortable watching that happen
really
and
funny.
Listening.
It was really funny. You felt like you were getting her in a private moment. And it's so funny to see Vanessa doing that, too. She's so pretty. And, like, she, hey, everybody, nature calls for everybody.
Well, and she even said why she did it was because she would never do it in front of him because she has to be perfect in front of him.
She wants him to think that she's perfect.
That's
so we discover
sweet.
that later. When Warner brings the same officer in to say, "Hey, look, I've been burglarized.
Right.
These comics have been stolen." We discover that David took them all along. Nobody was pressing charges, but there's a funny little scene where the officer's leaving, and Crawford turns to him and said, "So what do you think about Morgan Freeman?"
Oh my God, he's like, hey, that Morgan Freeman, he's great, huh?
He's like, why are you asking me? Because I'm black and I'm a man? Like, why would you? It just, oh my God. Poor Crawford.
But his jokes, okay, so I think he is really one of the funniest, and Edna, because of the stereotypes and the ridiculous things that they get away with saying. And then also I thought that the police officer had the best lines.
Oh my gosh, he was hysterical. He was so great. And then, we end the episode with them talking about that was Camilla on the stairs. That was you, and that scent that you left, and she was so embarrassed. And then Warner goes to hug her, and Crawford's like, don't squeeze her too hard. And they just kind of kept it going. David apologizes to Eli and said, I'm really sorry. I didn't know how much these meant to you. And
calls him son because
he blanked on his name again. So that's how they ended this episode. They wanted to have a tender moment, and they have to let you have those so you know that they really do care about each other. But then they hit it with that button of like, and I forgot your name again.
Right. And to top it off, as they're walking out, Crawford is like, Camilla, I need to walk in front of you.
It was the officer that said, ma'am, I need to walk in front of you. Poor thing. I felt so bad for her because they were just giving her such crap, and she just had to take it. It was cute. Her expressions were really cute too.
Yep.
So yeah, I loved it. I loved the physical comedy in this episode, and I loved the non-verbal communication that they were having. I thought it was really funny. All these actors are really good at expressing things besides just like, they're funny when they say their lines, but they're funny in so physical and non-verbal ways. And I thought it was a great episode. Super cute.
Super cute.
All right, well, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so we've got some news for you guys on dads and their episodes coming up. They ordered a 22 episode season, but the back 9, which is the last 9 episodes is what they call it, is now reduced to 5 episodes. But it does not mean that the show is in line for cancellation. It literally just means a reduction in order. So
does it say why?
They don't. There's many reasons that moving parts that go into why they do this for a show. People like to speculate that it's because they're trying to cancel a show, but that is not the only reason why stuff like this happens.
I would say scheduling probably, because people that have to do the episodes may not have been ready for that.
Exactly. And they're moving, Fox is moving their order around of shows. Like Glee is moving from Thursday to the Tuesday 8 p.m. time slot that Dads is on. So when Dads finishes their shorter season, Glee is taking that spot. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is moving up. Mindy Project is taking a break. Like, it's all being shuffled around. So don't worry. for you dads fans out there. It does not have to mean a bad thing. And everybody put out some positive energy.
Yeah.
'Cause we all love the show. Fox loves the show. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And if you go on to entertainmentweekly.com, you can see the new schedule for Fox.
Awesome.
But you can still catch dads at the same time, same spot until their season. So right now I think they have 18 episodes instead of 22.
Got
They're
it.
going to be fine. And then another little piece of gossip. So when we saw that scene between Ernie Hudson and Crawford, they did a little thing for the audience that day. They weren't going to use it to tape, but what happened was instead of has anyone ever, what do you think about Morgan Freeman line? He said, has anyone ever told you look like the Black Ghostbuster? And everyone laughed, and then he had to keep it together. Ernie kept it together, walked off stage, and then they played the Ghostbuster theme song, da-na-na-na-na-na, and everyone clapped, and he said a few things to the audience, and then the director said, that was just for you guys, we're not using it, but that was a cute little fun, that's the fun kind of stuff they do on set, you know.
They are.
That guy's a legend. They had to point that out.
Absolutely.
All right, how about some predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction about the show.
Okay.
I don't think that it's going to get canceled. I think that people love it. It has a home. I think they're just moving stuff around right now, and I think we can look forward to a season 2 for sure, in my opinion. And I'm still going with the end of this all happening, some romance brewing between Eli and Veronica, and I want to see more of Veronica. That's a request, not a prediction.
I like that. And I second all of your sentiments. I also predict that the dads will end up in some kind of dating scenario. Not with each other.
Oh, well.
But
they are in San Francisco. I'm only saying that because they say that all the time.
they do.
Yeah, I think that would be funny.
I think so too.
It would be funny to watch them date. We saw a little snippet of that earlier in the season. I think it would be funny to see it go further.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and watching. And next week, we will be doing our after show at Tuesday in real time. So after the episode airs, we will be here doing an after show for it because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So you can check us out Tuesday next week at 8:30 PST. Right?
8:30, not 8. 8:30.
No, the show's on at 8. We will
That
be
makes sense.
taping our after show at 8:30. Marissa's nodding her head because we clearly don't know what we're doing over here. All right, thank you guys. We will see you next week on Tuesday, and have a great weekend. Oh, by the way, I am your host, Lauren Leonelli. You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, and my website.
And I'm Jenifer Golden. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen the Jew, on my website, jenifergolden.com, on Facebook as Jenifer Golden, and here every week.
That's right. See you Tuesday. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.